What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this being my review for Housewives of Potomac Season 9, Episode 9. This is going to be a real quick review because not too much of anything of substance happened on this episode. Some would call this a filler episode. But we start out with Mia going over again the fact that she has two fathers of her children. You know, her oldest child with her first husband, which I'd actually completely forgotten about. I don't remember exactly when she talked about having a husband before Gordon, but anyways, so you know that's her first child's father, her first husband, and then her other two children are allegedly fathered by Gordon. But anyway, so they continue to have that conversation. Stacy is pulled to the side by Giselle, Ashley, and Karen because Stacy is about to go into mediation concerning her divorce with her ex-husband or her soon-to-be ex-husband. And they're trying to give her some advice, letting her know, you know what I'm saying, girl, you want all your ducks in a row. You want to make sure you have everything you need so that you are coming out on the top of the game when it comes to your divorce settlement or whatever it is that you guys decide to do. And so, you know, Giselle was trying to tell her, you know, you might think you know that man, but you don't really know that man until you get into the muck and the miry clay, until you get into the dirty with him, girl. You know what I'm saying? And so, initially, Stacy is a little bit surprised because she feels like she knows her soon-to-be ex-husband, and she thinks that we think she thinks that she knows what to expect when it comes to this mediation, and she's like, you know, she doesn't think she has anything to worry about. So, anyways, but Karen also tells her, you know what I'm saying, girl, you got to make sure you have all your ish together, girl. You got to make sure you have all your stuff together. I have to say that, you know what I'm saying? I do like Ashley, and I like the role that Ashley plays for this cast. And I know that a lot of people don't necessarily care for Ashley per se, but I feel like she brings something that none of the other girls in the cast really do bring to the show. And so I like that. And so we have our girl Kay, and Kay is letting us know that her man has a nonprofit that has to do with working with people who are less fortunate and things of that nature. And you know, she says that he has kind of a caveman mentality as far as relationships are concerned, making sure that, you know, she's able to have a dinner ready, you know, on the stove by the time he gets home. And you know, he's got that old school thing going on. And it doesn't seem like she's necessarily here for that. So I think they've got to come to a meeting of the minds. However, it seems like communication doesn't seem to be an issue for them. So hopefully they'll be able to work that out and get that together. So I'm hoping the best for them. Ashley is chilling with her kids, and she's going to drop them off to daycare on her way to her mediation because she's going through mediations with Michael. And this is apparently going to be a one-time thing. And it turns out that Ashley's mediation lasts for almost 8 hours. I'm like, girl, that is a whole lot, honey. That is a whole lot. That is a whole lot for child. That's a whole lot to deal with. But and anyways, it turns out that Ashley and Michael they have an arrangement as far as the custody is concerned. However, Michael wants for Ashley to sign some type of NDA or something of that nature so that she does not disparage him in the future, so that she does not discuss him on TV or anything of that nature. And Ashley says in the confessional that she really can't, you know, control what other people say about him or anything of that nature. And so apparently they've still got to iron out the details when it comes to that. When Ashley is explaining what happened at her mediation, she's actually sitting down with Wendy, Giselle, Karen, and Stacy. And Stacy is explaining that during her mediation, she found out some things that she had no idea about, things that she did not she was not aware of as it pertains to her husband. And I sort of feel I feel a little bit for Stacy, but I'm so glad that she was given the warning by Giselle, Karen, and Ashley beforehand, so that this doesn't come off as a complete surprise to her. And then Wendy actually reveals that she doesn't know anything about paying her mortgage, or she doesn't know who's providing her electricity. Like, she doesn't know any of those ins and outs because she trusts her husband to be able to take care of all of that kind of stuff. And I find that in a marriage, that seems to, I guess, if you've got things figured out, and you've got you've got a kind of like a thing going on between you and your partner. I guess in a marriage, it would sort of kind of make sense. On one end it doesn't make sense to me, but on the other hand, I feel like if that's how you guys have your wedding, you have your marriage set up, I guess it would make sense for Wendy not to necessarily know, how the mortgage is paid, how the lights are being taken care of. And Giselle actually says the same thing, that she wasn't aware of those types of things while she was married. So that's very interesting for them to go through. Karen takes a sit down with her daughter, and they have just a quick conversation. It looks like they're eating some delicious food, and so that seems to be very very intriguing, at least for me, because y'all know I love to eat. But anyways, and so Karen's daughter basically just lets her know, if the girls are not going to support you 100%, if they're not going to be behind you, girl, then they're not in your circle. Then they don't really don't have your back, and that's some very sound advice coming from Karen's daughter. Giselle actually sits down with her daughter as well, her older daughter, and she discusses how her older daughter feels that her twins will be able to manage in college. And she discusses the fact that her oldest daughter was in college when Giselle's father actually began to get worse in his condition as far as his brain tumor was concerned. And so I thought that was really sweet for Giselle to open up and let us know what type of headspace she was in. She had called Jamal, and Jamal said, just go to the airport and I'll have a ticket ready for you. Because, she was in a space where her father was calling her every day, concerning his well being, and how things were going with him, and his recovery and things of that nature. And when she had stopped getting calls, she knew something was wrong, and her daughters had to help her. And I thought that was really sweet for Giselle to open up like that. And once again, I'm here for Giselle's redemption arc, for her redemption story. I don't know if I can necessarily give her a pass. I don't know if I'll ever necessarily be here for Giselle, or for Giselle to be my favorite housewife. Ain't no way that will ever happen, because Karen will always be my favorite housewife of all time. But I like the direction that Giselle is going in. I like how Giselle is at least making an effort to be better and to do better. And it seems like her enemies in this season are, well, her enemy rather seems to be Mia. And because of the simple fact that I really don't care for Mia at all, especially this season where it seems like Mia is saying anything and doing anything to get a moment, a reality TV moment, I'm here for that. And it seems like Mia is mostly the outcast of this season, which I am here for, because if you're going to use your child's paternity as your storyline, to me, that is pretty darn low. And I cannot get with that. I really can't. At the end of this episode, we got a preview for the rest of the season. It looks like Ashley's going to have a new man. That seems to be interesting. It seems like the couples are going to discuss their relationships. And so it looks like we have a couple strip that's coming up. So it seems like that's going to be something to look forward to. So thank you guys so much for joining me for this review of Housewives of Potomac. Getting my words jumbled up here. Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 9. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this review. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Press the like button. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this particular episode. Also, be sure to press the notification bell. Share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody out here know that JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this review. I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace out, y'all.